Question number 131. A company plans to use Power Automate to automate tasks. On the left side, you have the flow types. On the right side, you have the requirement and you need to choose the correct flow type. The first requirement is a flow that runs after it is triggered by an event. The correct flow type is automated. The second requirement is a flow that guides a user through a set of tasks. The correct flow type is business process. The third requirement is a flow that runs after a specified number of days. The correct flow type is scheduled. Fourth requirement is a flow that allows you to start tasks on demand. The correct flow type is instant. Question number 132. A company has a website. The website includes a form that allows the company to collect information about leads. You need to set up an automated workflow to create leads in Dynamics 365 Sales when leads are created on the company's custom website. What should you create? Option A, task flow. Option B, Power Automate flow. Option C, Dynamics 365 workflow. Option D, business process flow. The correct answer is option B, Power Automate flow. Question number 133. A company uses Dynamics 365 Sales. Every time an opportunity is created, a Power Automate flow runs to email the opportunity to the sales manager. The sales manager leaves the company. You disable all accounts for the sales manager. You need to ensure that the new sales manager automatically receives email about opportunities when they are created. What should you do? Option A, modify the flow and ensure that the correct manager's email is listed in the From field. Option B, modify the flow and ensure that the correct manager's email is listed in the To field. Option C, grant the new sales manager access to the departed sales manager's inbox. Option D, modify the flow and ensure that the flow prompts the user to type the correct email for the To field. Option E, create a flow that automatically forward opportunity emails to the new sales manager. The correct answer is option B, modify the flow and ensure that the correct manager's email is listed in the To field. Question number 134. You are creating a number of Power Automate flows. You need to select the triggers for the flow. Which flow types should you use? The first question is, trigger a flow when the button is selected. The correct answer is instant. The second question is, trigger a flow when the record is created. The correct answer is automatic. The third question is, guide a user through a series of steps in a model-driven app. The correct answer is business process flow. Question number 135. You are creating a Power Automate flow. You need to retrieve data from several sources, including Microsoft Excel, Azure Data Lake, and GitHub. What should you use? On the left side, you have the components. On the right side, you have the data source and you need to choose the correct component. The first data source is Microsoft Excel. The correct component is connector. The second data source is Azure Data Lake. The correct component is connector. The third data source is GitHub. The correct component is connector. Question number 136. You have a Power Automate flow that saves attachment from email into OneDrive for business. You need to determine why the flow is not working. What are 3 possible ways to achieve the goal? Option A. Navigate to the Power Automate Admin Center and view the project. Option B. Navigate to the Action Items section of the Power Automate portal. Option C. Enable repair tips for the flow. Option D. Navigate to the flow and view the run history. Option E. Navigate to the Power Automate web portal and click View Notifications. The correct answers are Option B. Navigate to the Action Items section of the Power Automate portal. Option C. Enable repair tips for the flow. Option D. Navigate to the flow and view the run history. Question number 137. For which scenarios can you use Power Automate? For each of the following statement, select yes if the statement is true, otherwise select no. The first statement is notify team members when the response is recorded in a form in Microsoft Forms. The correct answer is yes. The second statement is when email is received, save email attachment to OneDrive for business. The correct answer is yes. The third statement is receive notifications when negative comments about the company are posted on Twitter. The correct answer is yes. Question number 138. A project deadline is approaching. The project manager reports that there are still a number of critical tasks that are not complete. You need to implement Power Automate to help streamline processes. Which types of flows should you use? On left side, you have the flow types. On the right hand side, you have the requirement and you need to choose the correct flow type. The first requirement is ensure that all of the steps for completing tasks are consistently followed by all team members. The correct flow type is business process. The second requirement is ensure that users can manually send an email to the project lead whenever a task is completed. The correct flow type is instant. The third requirement is automatically send a list of completed tasks at the end of each week. The correct flow type is scheduled. Question number 139. A company is using Power Automate to automate business processes. You need to recommend triggers for instant flows. What trigger types should you recommend? The first question is run a flow when the user presses a button in the Canvas app. The correct answer is Power Apps. The second question is run a flow when user presses a button in the Mobile Flow app. The correct answer is manually trigger a flow. Question number 140. A company wants users to start using Power Automate to improve personal productivity. You need to create a flow. Which two elements must you include? Option A, expression. Option B, condition. Option C, action. Option D, trigger. The correct answers are Option C, action. Option D, trigger.